welcome back to Friday Reads, where we help you find your next read. I'm Jill.
And I'm Julie, and we're out in Kimberly today. We're at Il Bar Coffee House, and we're doing some picks that involve romance with Valentine's Day right around the corner. We're sitting in front of one of their Valentine's decorated trees, so I'll turn it over to Jill for her first pick in the romance category.
So my first pick is The Boyfriend Project. This is the first in a series. It's by Farah Rashan. Farah Rashan's writing has been compared to Jasmine Guillory, Abby Jimenez, and Talia Hilbert. If you're a fan of
popular authors.
What happens when three women discover, thanks to the live tweeting of a disastrous date, that they've been duped by the same man? They become friends, of course. Samaya Brooks never thought she would be that girl, but a live tweet of a horrific date just revealed the painful truth. She's been catfished by a three-timing jerk of a boyfriend. Suddenly, Samaya, along with two other girlfriends, London and Taylor, have gone viral online. Now the three besties are making a pact to spend the next 6 months investing in themselves. No men, no dating, and no worrying about their relationship status. For once, Samaya is putting herself first, and that includes finally developing the app she's always dreamed of creating, which is the exact moment she meets the deliciously sexy, honey-eyed Daniel Collins at work. What are the chances? When it comes to love, there's no such thing as a coincidence. But is Daniel really boyfriend material, or is he just too good to be true? So, Boyfriend Project.
Now, I have to confess, I don't read a lot of romance books, so I picked a lot of mine based on catchy covers and catchy titles. So my first one is The Girl's Guide to Love and Supper Clubs. Thought it was a cute title, thought it was a cute cover. So this was published back actually in 2012. Hannah Sugarman seems to have it all. She works for an influential think tank in Washington, D.C., lives in a swanky apartment with her high-achieving boyfriend, and is poised for an academic career just like her parents. The only problem is that Hannah doesn't want any of it. What she wants is much simpler: to cook. When her relationship collapses, Hannah seizes the chance to do what she's always loved and launches an underground supper club out of her new landlord's townhouse. Through her delicious dishes, she becomes the talk of the town. Her secret adventure is highly problematic, though, given that it is not, technically speaking, legal. She has also conveniently forgotten to tell her landlord she has been using his place while he's out of town. On top of that, Hannah faces various romantic prospects that leave her guessing and confused. Parents who don't support cooking as a career, and her own fears of taking a risk and charting her own path. It's a charming romantic comedy, and it's a story about finding yourself, fulfilling your dreams, and falling in love along the way. So The Girl's Guide to Love and Supper Clubs.
My next pick is Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon. Ari Abrams has always been fascinated by the weather, and she loves almost everything about her job as a TV meteorologist. Her boss, legendary Seattle weatherwoman Terrence Hale, is too distracted by her tempestuous relationship with her ex-husband, the station's news director, to give Ari the mentorship she wants. Ari, who runs the Sunshine and Optimism, is at her wit's end. The only person who seems to understand how she feels is sweet but reserved sports reporter Russell Barringer. In the aftermath of a disastrous holiday party, Ari and Russell decide to team up to solve their boss's relationship issues. Between secret gifts and double dates, they start nudging their bosses back together. But their well-meaning meddling backfires when a real chemistry builds between Ari and Russell. Working closely with Russell means allowing him to know the parts of herself Ari keeps hidden from everyone. Will he be able to embrace her dark clouds as well as her clear skies? A TV meteorologist and a sports reporter scheme to reunite their divorced bosses and unforecasted results in this charming romantic comedy.
I almost picked that one.
It's very cute. It does have a cute cover.
Yep, I had
it. You're not the only one that picks things by their cover.
My second pick is Rachel Givney's Jane in Love, and this is from 2020. If Jane Austen had the choice between the heart and the pen, what do you think she would do? At age 28, Jane Austen should be seeking a suitable husband, but all she wants to do is write. She is forced to take extreme measures in her quest to find true love, which lands her in the most extraordinary of circumstances. Magically, she finds herself in modern-day England, where horseless steel carriages line the streets and people wear very little clothing. She forms a new best friend in fading film star Sophia Wentworth, and a genuine love interest in Sophia's brother Fred, who has the audacity to be handsome, clever, and kind-hearted. She's also delighted to discover that she is now a famous writer, a published author of 6 novels, and she's beloved around the globe. But as Jane's romance with Fred blossoms, her presence in the literary world starts to waver. She must find a way to stop herself disappearing from history before it's too late. It's a modern-day reimagining of the life of one of the world's most celebrated writers. This wonderfully witty romantic comedy offers a new side to Jane's story, which sees her having to choose between true love in the present and her career as a writer in the past. So,
interesting. So this next one, some people are sick of this saying, meet cute. Helena Hunting. This was first published in 2019, so talk about an embarrassing introduction. On her first day of law school, Kaylin ran quite literally into the actor she crushed on as a teenager, ending with him sprawled on top of her. Mortified to discover that the Daxton Hughes was also a student in her class, her embarrassment over their meet cute quickly turned into a friendship she never expected. Of course, she never saw his betrayal coming either. Now, 8 years later, Dax is in her office asking for legal advice. Despite her anger, Kaylin can't help feeling sorry for the devastated man who just became sole guardian of his 13-year-old sister. But when her boss gets wind of Kaylin's new celebrity client, there's even more at stake than Dax's custody issues. If she gets Dax to work for them, she'll be promoted to partner. The more time Kaylin spends with Dax and his sister, the more she starts to feel like family, and the more she realizes the chemistry they had all those years ago is as fresh as ever. Aww. But will they be able to forgive the mistakes of the past, or will one betrayal lead to another? So,
meet cute.
Meet cute.
Couldn't resist my next one. This is Quanah Jackson's Real Men Knit, published in 2020. When their foster-turned-adopted mother suddenly dies, 4 brothers struggle to keep open the doors of her beloved Harlem knitting shop while dealing with life and love in Harlem. Jesse Strong is known for 2 things: his devotion to his adoptive mom, Mama Joy, and his reputation for breaking hearts in Harlem. When Mama Joy unexpectedly passes away, he and his brothers have different paths on what to do with Strong Knits. They all have different plans for this place, their neighborhood knitting store. Jesse wants to keep the store open. His brothers want to shut it down. Jesse makes an impassioned plea to Carrie Fuller, his childhood friend who has a crush on him her entire life, to help him figure out how to run this business. Carrie agrees to help, reinvent the store, and show him the nitty-gritty of the business. But the more time they spend together, the more the chemistry builds. Carrie, knowing Jesse's history, doesn't believe this relationship will exist longer than one can knit one, purl one. But Jesse's determined to prove to her that he can be the man for her. After all, real men knit.
Cute. Cute cover, too.
See? Told you how I based mine, because I don't read a lot of romance.
This next one I've heard a lot of hype about, actually. So, The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. As a third-year PhD candidate, Olive Smith doesn't believe in lasting romantic relationship, but her best friend does, and that's what got her into this situation. Convincing on that Olive is dating and well on her way to happily ever after was just going to make more than hand-wavy Jedi mind tricks. Scientists require proof, so like any self-respecting biologist, Olive panics and kisses the first man she sees. That man is none other than Adam Carlson, a young hotshot professor and well-known ass, which is why Olive is positively floored when Stanford's reigning lab tyrant agrees to keep her charade a secret and be her fake boyfriend. But when a big science conference goes haywire, putting Olive's career on the Bunsen burner, Adam surprises her again with his unyielding support of even more unyielding six-pack abs. Suddenly, their little experiment feels dangerously close to combustion, and Olive discovers that the only thing more complicated than the hypotheses on love is putting her own heart under the microscope.
Aww.
So, you
I love
science
the write-ups.
lovers.
I love the write-ups for these books. My 4th pick is A Lady's Guide to Mischief and Mayhem. This is by Amanda Collins. This was published in 2020. An intrepid female reporter matches wits with a serious, sexy detective in award-winning author Miranda Collins' fun and flirty historical rom-com. England, 1865. As one of England's most notorious newspaper columnists, Lady Catherine Bascombe believes knowledge is power, and she's determined to inform and educate the ladies of London on the nefarious and deadly criminals who are preying on the fairer sex. When her reporting leads to the arrest of a notorious killer, Catherine flees to a country house to escape her newfound notoriety. only to witness a murder on her very first night. And when the lead detective accuses Catherine of inflaming rather than informing the public with her column, she vows to prove him wrong. Detective Inspector Andrew Eversham's refusal to compromise his investigations nearly cost him his own career, and he blames Catherine. To avoid bad publicity, his superiors are pressuring him to solve cases quickly rather than correctly. When he discovers she's the key witness in a new crime, he's determined to prevent the beautiful widow from once again wreaking havoc on his case. Yet as Catherine proves surprisingly insightful and Andrew impresses Catherine with his lethal competency, both are forced to admit the fire between them is more flirtatious than furious. But to explore the passion between them, they'll need to catch a killer. So as the book cover says, of all the crime scenes in the world, she walks into his twice.
So it's kind of like a mystery.
Yeah, how about that one?
2 in 1, that one. The next one is The Trouble with Hating You by Sanjay Patel. Leah Thacker is a successful biochemical engineer, another science lady.
Yeah.
Takeout enthusiast and happily single woman. The moment she realizes her parents' latest dinner party is a setup with the man they want her to marry, she's out the back door in a flash. Imagine her surprise when the same guy shows up at her office a week later, the new lawyer hired to save a struggling company. What's not surprising, he's not too thrilled to see her either after that humiliating fiasco. Jay Shah looks good on paper and off, especially if you like that whole gorgeous, charming lawyer in a good suit thing. He's also arrogant and infuriating. As their witty office banter turns into late-night chats, Leah starts to think he might be the one man who truly accepts her. But falling for each other means exposing their painful past. Will Leah keep running, or will she finally give love a chance? So, I'm hating you.
My last pick, this sounded like an interesting premise, is The Lost Love Song by Minnie Dark, published in 2020. This is the story of a love song, and like any good love song, it has 2 parts. In Australia, Ari Johnson waits impatiently for classical pianist Diana Clare to return from a world tour, hopeful that after 7 years together, she'll finally agree to marry him. On her travels, Diana composes a song for him. It's a perfect way to express her love, knowing they'll spend their lives together. Won't they? Then late one night, her love song is overheard and begins its own journey across the world. In Scotland, Evie Greenlees is drifting. It's been years since she left Australia with a backpack, a one-way ticket, and a dream of becoming a poet. Now she spends her days making coffee and her nights serving beer. And she's not even sure whether the guy she lives with is really her boyfriend or just a flatmate. Then one day she hears an exquisite love song, one that will connect her to a man with a broken heart. So, check out The Lost Love Song. This kind of sounded like an interesting premise for a rom-com.
So we hope that we helped you find something to read in honor of Valentine's Day that involves love.
Yeah, like, comment, share. We love to hear from you and hear what you're reading. We do have a display of romance books at the Kimberly Public Library currently. We also have the romantic comedies and romance movies set aside, with Valentine's coming up next week. Visit our videos on our Facebook page, on the Kimberly Public Library YouTube channel.
And come to the Ill Bar and see their cool decoration.
Yeah, they're decorated for the holidays. So thanks to Ill Bar for letting us come over and film. And until next time, we thank you for watching.
Bye.